I'm Darcy Harrell from the ASPCA Spay-neuter Alliance, and I'm here to talk to you today about some techniques to handle our fearful dogs that come into the shelter or the clinic. So oftentimes they come in crates and they are unwilling to come out because they're too scared. So we're going to talk about some ways to handle that. So Zoe is a very fearful dog. I've not seen her in a crate before, so I'm not sure how she's going to react. But the first thing we want to do when we have a dog come into us in a crate, is assess their body language and see how they're acting in the crates. Some dogs are willing to come out and they're anxious to come out. They're in the front of the crate. We know they want to come out. The biggest thing with them is we just want to make sure they don't come busting out of the front of the crate. So we want to make sure we just open it a little bit, make a loop with our leash, and get them leashed before they come out. The dogs that are towards the back of the crate and are a little unsure about us are the ones that we kind of want to assess and figure out the best route to get them out of the crate. If they are showing signs of fear, if they're in the back of the crate, if they have dilated pupils, if they're cowering, if their ears are back, if they're trembling, salivating, things like that, then if they're in a loud room with a lot of other dogs, the first thing we'll do here is get them to a quiet area and maybe even cover their crate so they have some time to de-escalate a little bit. And it's a lot easier to deal with them that way. We also want to offer them some yummy treats and see if that might get them into a better mental state. So let's see how Zoe's doing over here. Hi, Zoe. So the first thing I see with Zoe is she is coming to the front of the crate, but she is trembling. She does have a front leg up and she's panting. So those are some signs of fear. Hi, baby. Hi. She's responding when I talk to her. It's nice to try to offer a little food and see if they're interested in having a little treat. Give me a little treat. She's interested. She took a lick, but not quite enough to actually eat it yet. All right, baby. So she's coming to the front. Her ears are forward. But she's still holding that front leg up. So she's nervous but interested. So I think what I'll do with her is just see if maybe she might want to come out. Honey, you want to come out? So she's backing away when I try to get the leash on her. Honey. So if you have a dog that, is backing away and you're a little concerned, then you want to be careful about how far you put your hand into the crate. Now, I know that Zoe is probably going to be okay if I leash her, but I do want to show you a particular technique we use. So for the dogs that are more towards the back and you are able to get them to come forward, but you really need to get a leash on them to get them out of the crate, or you just really need to get a leash on them, we have a technique to leash them. So I've had a lot of people say, well, just open the door and let them come out, or just take the top off and let them come out. But if you don't have a leash on them first, then you don't have any control over them once they come out. So we're really wanting to get a leash on them first so we have that control, because they may be kind of subdued in the cage or in the crate, but if they come out, then they may take off on you. So we always want to have control of them. So I'm going to show you a little trick that we do here. The ones that, we don't want to put our hand or our arm into the crate to leash them if they're far back, because that's getting into their space and they could potentially snap or bite if you do that. So what we do is we just gently lift the crate up on its end, and we do it very slowly. very, very slowly. And I'm giving her plenty of time to get her footing. So I don't want her to lose her footing or anything like that. And generally, they're at the back of the crate. Zoe has decided that she's probably wanting to come out now. But then even if they have decided that they don't want to eat, I'll still throw a little smelly canned cat food or some dog food down in there, because they will generally look down there to see what I've thrown down there. So some dogs that may even be snapping at us or that are escalated more than Zoe, we can do that. They'll look down and they'll smell it, and that will give us some time to drop a nice big loop in there over their head and be out of the way of their mouth. So I'm going to do that with her. Get a leash on her real quick, and then I'll slowly bring the crate back down. And again, I want to do it real slow, just so that she doesn't lose her traction or her footing. And then at this point, a lot of dogs, once they're leashed, they'll come out on their own. Look at that. Good girl, Zoe. Good girl.